choice. We all make choices every day, from waking up to choosing what we eat. But why do we make choices? That's a thing that philosophers have talked about for centuries, why we do things, what's the motive behind it. And the reason why that's important is, if there's no reason for doing anything, why do we do things at all? Now, philosophers have decided that there are three main theses that decide why we do things: determinism, free will, and compatibilism. Today we'll discuss what each of them means, and why ultimately compatibilism is best for our everyday life. Motivation. It's why we do things. This is a key concept that is discussed in each of these theses and why we do things, what motivates us, or what's the motivator of us to do things. Now, first, free will. You can picture this like an open ocean. You're free to do what you want, free to sail your own seas. In an interview by Christian List, who is a free will philosopher, he states that the reason why we have choice is because we understand what choice is. Since we are able to think and recognize that we have choice, we therefore have free will. A little confusing, but this, backed up with other evidence, explains why free will could exist. Now, on the other end of the spectrum is determinism. You can see this as a lock or a cage. And instead of us having choice of what we do, everything is predetermined. That can be because of a higher being that decides everything we do, or down to the science that everything we do is just a reaction to other things, like a chemical reaction, or things of that nature. In an article named Determinism versus Free Will, it states that the two major fundamental laws of determinism is that if we were able to rewind time, let's say 10 years, and replay history, that history would be the exact same as it was. There would nothing be changed, and that would prove determinism. The other way would be if we had enough scientific knowledge that we could potentially predict the future with all of these equations, because history and the future and the past predicts itself due to just all these chemical equations. Now, of course, we aren't at that point where we can do either of those, but that's what would prove determinism versus free will. Now, right in the middle is compatibilism. This is the belief that free will and determinism can both exist, because free will and determinism are quite radical ideas of why we do things. One's a very broad idea that puts everything on you as a person, and you do everything, and it's all your fault if something goes wrong. The stark other end is determinism, where nothing you do matters because you don't have a choice. Compatibilism fits right in between the two, where you have choice of what you do, but within the constraints of determinism. Now, that may sound weird, but basically what it's saying is you choose what you do, but your actions can be influenced by other things. And this is stated off of Stanford's Encyclopedia of Psychology. Now, why does this matter to everyday you and I? Think of a world where determinism is fundamentally believed in, where we don't have a choice in what we do. Nothing matters. So what's stopping me from robbing a bank? Because none of the choices really matters because it's not mine. There's no self-accountability. People get to do whatever they want freely because it's not their fault. Everything's predetermined. On the flip side of the spectrum, free will, where everybody chooses what they want to do. People's psychology would crumble because everything that doesn't happen to them that they wanted to, they'll take on is their fault. And both of these aren't correct in modern day society. That's why free will is so important, and determinism is too. And that's why compatibilism works best, because it has both the free will aspect, the order, and the chaos of everyday life that's determinism. So, today we talked about determinism, free will, and compatibilism, and why compatibilism works best fundamentally in our everyday life. Now, I want each and every one of you to go out and take accountability for your action, because they are your own, nobody else's. But keep in mind that there are sometimes factors that don't influence that are out of your control. So choose compatibilism. Thank you.